So today we will study about function 2.3 inverse function. Hope you enjoy. Okay, class. So at the end of this video, I hope you'll be able to identify one-on-one function, and at the same time, you are able to convert a function to be an inverse function. Okay, class. So let's start with how to convert a function into inverse function. Please pay attention. Okay, good morning class. Today we are going to study about inverse function. First, we will take a look what is inverse function. Okay, we understand that function map x into y. So inverse function do the reverse, it map y into x. Okay, so logically talking, the domain, which is the x value of my inverse, should be the range, which is the y value of my fx. The opposite is also true. The range of my inverse, okay, which is the y value of my inverse, should be the domain of my fx. Okay, so the question is, how do I convert my fx into inverse or f prime x? Okay, so an example here. Okay, before I go to the example, I need you to take note that inverse function only exists, okay, when the function, which is the fx itself, is one-on-one, meaning that 1x map to 1 y value. Alright, so now let's take a look on how we actually make an fx into the f to the power of inverse 1x or the inverse function equation. So if fx equals to 3x minus 1, alright, so we make fx become y equals to 3x minus 1, which we can see right here, y equals to 3x minus 1. And then what I do is I change the y become x and the x become y. Because as you know, inverse map y to become x. Okay, so I change the y become x and the x become y. And then I try to make y the subject back. Okay, make y the subject. So when I make y the subject, I will have y equals to x plus 1 over 3. Now this new function itself is my inverse 1 function, f to the power inverse 1 function. Okay, so this is my fx. Okay, just now as we can see right here, my inverse 1 is this, x plus 1 over 3. Okay, now there is one very unique kind of function, which is what we call self-inverse, meaning that the fx function and the f to the power of minus 1x function is the same. For example, fx equals to 1 over x, so I make fx become y equals to 1 over x, and when I change the y become x and the x become y, and I make back y the subject, I get back the same, which is the same. Okay, so this kind of function we call it self-inverse function. Okay, hope you understand class. Thank you. Okay class, now let's take a look at how to solve work example 2.7. Okay class, let's take a look at work example 2.7 right now. Okay, we have question here, fx is equals to root x plus 2 minus 7. The domain is restricted or real number, but the x can only be equals to or bigger than minus 2. Okay, so we are asked to find the expression for the inverse. Okay, how to do it? As usual, we write the expression fx equals to root x plus 2 minus 7. Change it to become y. And then the y and the x, please change this y become x and the x become y, and make y the subject. And as we make y the subject, we got this open bracket x plus 7 plus bracket squared minus 2. Alright, so this is actually our inverse function. Alright, so this is our inverse function. Take note that my domain is more than or equals to minus 2, and my range for fx, okay, this is additional information, the range since my minimal value for x is minus 2, therefore my range, the minimal range, okay, is to sub minus 2 into the equation. What I'll have is minus 2 plus 2 minus 7, which is minus 7. So my range will be more than minus 7. Okay, so please take note, yeah, for this function, my range will be bigger than minus 7. Okay, now let's take a look at part B. Solve the equation f inverse 1x equals to f62 when the function when the x is equals to 62. So first I need to find f62 and I put x equals to 62 into the f function, and then I have 1. Okay, therefore f inverse 1x equals to 1. Alright, so we rewrite f inverse 1x to become x plus 7 squared minus 2. So this one, okay, and I manipulate it, I get x equals to minus 7 plus minus root 3. Why plus minus? Because x plus 7, the whole thing squared. When I want to find x, I need to root. When I root, it becomes plus minus. Okay, now that's why our x is minus 7 plus minus root 3. That means there is two answers for x, but this is not our final answer. Why? Because we have to understand that there is a restriction for the function domain. Okay, in this case, this is our x, the x value for my inverse. So the x value of my inverse, the domain of my inverse is the same as the range of my function. Okay, we agree that the range of the function we get, okay, the minimum range for my function must be bigger than minus 7. Minus 7 plus root 3 is bigger than minus 7, but minus 7 minus root 3 is smaller. So we have to reject minus 7 minus root 3. We only take minus 7 plus root 3 as our answer. Okay, class? Thank you. Hope you understand. Okay, class. I hope you understand how to convert a function into inverse function via the work example. Now, let's try some question from exercise 2C. Please try question 1, part A, question 2, part A and part B. Last but not least, question 3, part A and part B. Thank you.